In 2007, researchers scanned the brains of people going through romantic rejection, and the part of the brain that lit up was the same part that activates on cocaine addicts going through withdrawal. And the surprising part is that it was not just similar, it was the exact same area of the brain. And the part that shocked me was when I read. It says that the more high functioning and the more intelligent you are, the more intense this response becomes. So if you are a woman between 30 and 45 who has built the career, a woman who leads things, runs people, and takes decisions every day, and you feel you are there for your friends and family, but paradoxically, you still find yourself falling apart over a man who cannot show up consistently for you. Your brain is not betraying you here. It is doing exactly what is wired to do, and fortunately that's something you can change, and this is what this video is about. My name is Marcela Variani. I am a relationship coach, and for the past 10 years I have been working with people in different parts of the world, and in this journey I found one type of woman that I work with specifically. These women, they are smart, they build their career, and they are the ones that everyone relies on when they need something. And when it comes to love and her personal relationship, she is exhausted, confused, and quietly devastated by the gap between who she is at work and who she becomes in a relationship. If you feel like I just defined your exact situation, stay with me now. I'm going to tell you why that gap exists and why nothing you tried so far is able to close it, and what actually closes it. But before I go any further, I want to tell you something. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you a free guide that I created called The 7 Things Keeping You Stuck in the Anxious and Avoidant Cycle. Inside this guide, I break down 7 patterns that I saw over the years in the women that I work with, and you will find practical steps to start changing them. And once you hear everything I am about to share, that guide will make way more sense to you, and you will know exactly how to use it. I want to share with you about a morning that changed everything for me. Before I was the coach, I was the pattern. I was dealing with the exact same problems that now I help other women solve. For most of my adult life, I felt that I was living 2 different polarities. One version was the version that everyone could see. I was independent, ambitious, and always seeming to have it all together. I traveled the world, built things on my own, and never asked for help. And the second version, no one saw. I was awake 2 a.m. in the morning feeling anxious, and sometimes rereading old messages, trying to figure out what they meant. I was rehearsing conversations that never happened. I was giving and giving to relationships that never gave back, and telling myself that if I just tried a little harder, maybe understood a little more or needed a little less, it would finally feel safe. And both of these women were me. That was my reality for many days, for quite some time. And it was draining the life out of me. But I always had that tiny hope that things could still change if I just tried a little harder. What I could not understand at the time is that these 2 versions, they were coming from the exact same place. Because when I was very young, I learned that love is something you have to earn. You earn it by being perfect, you earn it by being not too much, you earn it by being nice, by being easy. It's not something you would just receive. And my nervous system built itself around that truth. So I kept attracting the same kind of men. Emotionally unavailable, present enough to keep me in, but distant enough to keep me anxious. And the crazy part is that I never met a secure men who were kind and consistent and not a puzzle to solve. I felt nothing for them, actually. I would tell myself that those kind of men were boring. What was actually happening is that my body was reading safety as a threat. What felt familiar felt like love. But in reality, it was just the anxiety that I have lived for so long. So I would plan the dates, initiate the conversations. I was the one sending the text first. I over-explained, over-analyzed, overgave. And when I realized I was running the relationship entirely on my own and feeling more alone than ever. I remember sitting in my room one night, still awake at 3 a.m. when I finally thought I can't do this anymore. And my chest was feeling really heavy. It was when I decided that I should go to therapy. So I went to therapy, I read all the books, I went down the self-help rabbit hole, and I could describe my attachment style as a therapist. I understood every pattern and still woke up one morning feeling exactly the same as I felt 5 years before. And that morning I sat on my bed and asked myself one question. If I know all of this, why is my body doing exactly the same thing? Why do I still feel the same? That question changed everything for me. And what I figured out was what most coaches and therapists will never tell you. Your pattern is not stored in your thoughts. These patterns are stored in your own body. When you get triggered, when it takes hours to reply, when a conversation feels off, and you start feeling distance, your thinking brain doesn't get to vote. A different part of your brain takes over, the part responsible for survival, and it runs the old program. Chase, fix, overgive. Prove that you are worthy staying for, and you can't think your way out of that. No amount of journaling or insight or understanding of your childhood will stop a physiological response mid-trigger. The prefrontal cortex goes off in those moments, and all the self-awareness in the world can't reach a nervous system that is in survival mode. And that's why therapy helps you understand, but it doesn't help you change. Therapy works from the top down. It talks to your thinking brain, but there are patterns that live below that. And what actually works is going from the bottom up. You teach your body first what it feels like safety. You work directly with your nervous system. You give it real physical experiences of safety until the brain stops registering safety like a threat. Once the body shifts, then automatically your behavior will shift. And it doesn't happen because you decide to be different, but because that which was driving the old behavior doesn't have a grip on you. And that's the foundation of everything I do. And I only teach what I have experienced myself. I have lived through those pains. I know what it is to be awake at night, feeling anxious, the pain, the struggle, and everything that comes with it. And my method is called From Survival to Security, and it works in 3 phases. The phase 1 is release. Here is where we uncover your subconscious beliefs and those old patterns that have been shaping a relationship for years. Our reality is created by our subconscious mind. And that's why awareness is not enough. It's a lot, but it's not enough. We need to change what is happening beneath the surface. Until we bring light to those shadow aspects, we will keep creating reality in the same way, over and over again. And we will do this deep inner work together. We will come back to your childhood and work with your inner child and understand how your earliest relationships shaped the way you live today, your relationships as an adult. Because you can't create a new level of reality with the same level of consciousness that you have today. This phase is about bringing those unconscious patterns to the light so they don't run your life from the background anymore. The phase 2 is rewire, and once those unconscious patterns become clear, we begin rewriting the story. This is where I guide you on my alter ego work and therapeutic theater journey. We are going to create together the version of you that already experiences the relationship that you desire so deeply. So instead of repeating an identity that you have always known, you will begin practicing how she thinks, how she feels, how she experiences this new level of reality. So little by little, you start recognizing this version of yourself as a safe place to be. And that's how we begin to create reality with a new level of consciousness, not by thinking, by acting, taking action. The phase 3 is receive. It's where everything starts to come together finally, and it's the phase of embodiment. Is where you start embodying your alter ego in your everyday life through real life practice, ongoing support, and repetition. These new ways of feeling, thinking, and responding, they become natural. So you will stop overfunctioning because you believe you don't have to earn love anymore. You stop looking outside of yourself for validation because your sense of safety is coming from within. And from that place, secure relationships become possible because you are no longer recreating the same survival patterns. You are embodying a new way to relate to yourself, to love, and to the people around you. I would like to share something that my client said because their words say it more than any of mine would do. One woman, after weeks of working together on this pattern of seeking for reassurance, sent me a simple message. She said, "Talking to you makes me feel calmer." She wasn't talking about techniques or insights, but she was telling me how she felt. And this is what happens when your nervous system begins to change. Another client came to me after years of doing the emotional heavy lifting. She was always initiating conversations, making the plans, and carrying the relationship by herself. She sent me this. The good thing is that he treats me like a queen. And she never had to ask for that, because once she stopped overfunctioning, there was finally space for the man to show up in the relationship. Another woman who had tried therapy twice and another coaching program told me this: "I bring your advice into action." And this sentence is one that matters the most to me because it tells me this work is creating a real change, not just understanding. And then there is the message that I still think about. Thank you for making me believe in myself again, because that is where everything else begins. Now let me walk you through what this process actually looks like. Every week for 12 weeks, you and I will meet in a one-on-one call. It's a private session focused entirely on you. We will work through the patterns that you have developed, how your nervous system responds, and the experiences that shaped those responses. Every part of the process is tailored to your own situation because no two women arrive here with the same story. From Monday to Friday, you have access to me on direct messages. And this matters more than the sessions itself because the real work happens in the moment when you receive a text, you feel confused at 10 in the morning and you need to understand what your body is doing before you respond. I'm here for those moments and I'm there with you so you don't have to wait 1 week to get the support. I created this program for women who are tired of just understanding the problem and they are ready to experience what it feels like to finally respond differently. At the beginning of this video, I promised I would send you something to continue this work, and here it is. My free guide is called The 7 Things Keeping You Stuck in the Anxious and Avoidant Cycle. As promised, it's all yours to download for free. Inside, I will walk you through the 7 patterns I see the most in the women that I work with. These are the patterns that keep many intelligent, self-aware, and loving women stuck in the same cycle, even when they understand completely what is happening. Each pattern comes with a clear explanation of what is happening beneath the surface, along with one practical step that you can start applying right away. And my hope is that when you read it, you will recognize parts of yourself, those parts you have never been able to put into words. Because sometimes having the right language for what you have been experiencing is the first step toward changing this. And if one of those 7 patterns feel familiar, I would love to continue the conversation with you on a call. And now, I know what you're probably thinking, that you have tried things before, you have tried therapy, coaching, and books. And each time you thought that something would finally work, you understood more and more, but you changed less. And the idea of investing again and ending up on the same place feels almost unbearable. I hear that, and I completely understand why you would feel this way. Because everything you tried gave you a better understanding of why you feel what you feel. The problem is that understanding doesn't automatically change what your nervous system experiences, because talk-based approaches, they are valuable and they bring a lot of insight, but they don't always reach the physiological part and the survival patterns driving those actions. Because when your nervous system is triggered, thinking your way out is usually not enough. And that's why my work focuses on a different part of this process. We work directly with the nervous system and identity shifting, and that's why the changes are lasting. And as for time, you are already spending it. Hours every week worrying and overthinking, trying to recover. You are already investing your time, but not on the right things. And the difference is where this time is going. And if you are wondering whether this will still work for you, every woman that I worked with started with the same doubts. The same doubts you are probably feeling right now. They were skeptical and exhausted, but finally reaching a point where they were ready to stop repeating the cycle and finally change it. This is all I ask from you, the willingness to begin. Do you remember the morning I told you about in the beginning of this video? The morning I woke up after another relationship ended. I sat on the edge of my bed and I realized I couldn't keep repeating the cycle. That morning, I stopped asking what was wrong with me and started asking a different question. What if I'm trying to solve all of this in the wrong way? And that question has led me to everything I'm sharing with you today. And if you have watched this far, there is a good chance you have been asking yourself the similar questions. Deep down, you already know that understanding a problem is not the same as changing it. You are ready for something that reaches exactly where these patterns begin. This is the work I do. And I only work with a small number of women at a time because, as you can imagine, this kind of work requires my full attention. And once those spots are filled, I close the enrollment until it's open again. So now, if you listen to me carefully, there is a button below this video to book a 30-minute free call with me. And this will not be a sales call, because I don't enroll in this program women that are not a right fit. So don't you worry, I will not pressure you. What I will do is to take 30 minutes to understand specifically your situation, explain exactly how you have been living your patterns, and give you enough clarity to make a real decision. You will leave that call knowing more about your nervous system than many women know in months of therapy. And if I realize we are not the best fit to work together, you will still have tools that I will recommend you. And this is the standard I hold for every conversation. So click the button, book the call, and show up. It's going to be a pleasure to meet you. I hope to